So after learning about the Democrats and the Republicans, we're going to now learn about the third parties. And probably the two most powerful third parties are the Green Party and the Libertarian Party. And we're going to talk about how third parties gain power and what they can do to actually get financial support from the government. So the first third party we'll talk about is the Green Party. The Green Party is a relatively new party in the United States. It does have a presence in Europe. They're pretty powerful in Germany, for example. They started in 1991, so they're really, really new. They're less than 25 years old. Their ideology is not just to the left as the Democrats, they're very far to the left. They're about as far left as you can go before you get to what's called socialism, where the government actually controls businesses. They do not believe in socialism. They still believe in a mixed economy, as you can see, like the Democrats. The top right-hand corner is probably the most famous Green Party member. His name is Ralph Nader. And Ralph Nader has run for president of the United States several times. And he's actually gotten enough votes where he brought money into their party so they could run other candidates. If he gets 5% of the vote, a third-party candidate will get financial support for the next election for his party. So even if they don't win, and they did not win, and the chances of win was very slim to none, but still, if they could get 5% out of 100% of the people that vote, then they can actually get financial support from the government to help run their campaign next time. In St. Louis, there's a presence of Green Party in St. Louis City. They're almost non-existent in the county and really in the countryside or the rural areas of Missouri. But in the city, many times when you vote, you're going to see Green Party on there. So you need to understand what they believe. And you're also going to see the other party, Libertarian. So they do believe that governments must regulate business for citizen safety. They're going to hold citizen safety and citizens above the government and the government above businesses. So they're very similar to Democrats, but they'll actually go further to the left on that. So here's one of the big differences. While they agree that people should pay a progressive tax, they believe in grassroots democracy. So they don't think that the government really, that big dominant parties like the Democrats or Republicans are dangerous to America. So grassroots democracy is this idea that people together come together and spend their own money to really support the party or what ideas they want, as opposed to having these huge dominant parties we talked about, like the Democrats or Republicans, where they spend $1 billion on campaigning. They think that people should actually use their own money within the party, and there shouldn't always be these huge donations and government support of the parties. They believe strongly in social justice, as you can see. One of their main ideas is that everybody's treated equally. Minorities are equal to all other groups. They are in favor of gay marriage. They think that the homosexual community needs to be treated equally and have equal rights with everyone else in the United States. And that would be an example of social justice. They're very strong on child issues. They're strong on a lot of things that affect people. Producing products that are made by children, or companies being held responsible for purchasing products that were made by overseas companies and paying consequences. The government would actually regulate that. They're very, very strong on ecological wisdom. So the environment is above all before the businesses. So human rights and the environment are way above the business interests. So if Walmart is purchasing shoes in Indonesia and they find out that it's from a company that Walmart might suspect have children or are paying unfair wages, then the government would have consequences for Walmart. It'd be an example of something the Green Party would go after them. They believe in nonviolence, so they're not strong on waging war in other countries. They believe strongly in reducing the military and using that spending for other things like universal health care and education. One of their big claims to fame is that they actually have a building in Manhattan that is completely 100% sustainable. It runs on non-renewable energies, and it's a skyscraper in Manhattan, kind of trying to prove that you don't need to use non-renewable energy anymore. They believe in community-based economics, so the idea that you would buy things and make things within your community and you support your community. So instead of going to a chain restaurant like Red Lobster, you would go to a community restaurant and support a mom and pop store instead of going to a big Like a big store like Walmart, you would go to, again, a mom and pop store, a store owned by somebody in the community, and even though the prices might be a little bit more, they'll pay a better wage or treat the labor better. They believe in feminism, and feminism is a very strong term that people get excited about. But really, what feminism truly means is that women are equal to men in every sense of the word, equal, and they should be treated that way. So while people say that women are equal, the truth is there's not very many CEOs or top leaders of companies in the business world in America that are actually women. And still today, women are not very powerful in government compared to men. That is changing, but still only there's less than 20 women senators out of 100, so that's 20% of the Senate. And it's pretty close to that percentage in Congress are women. So they want to change that so you'd have balanced government between women and men. And gender equality. So also we go into respect for people's identities. If they see themselves as a man, that are they born a man and feel that they are women, the government should respect that and protect them from other people. So they'd be really strong against hate crimes and think there'd be strong consequences. And respect for diversity. So they really focus on embracing the idea of diversity, that people are different races or different cultures, different religions, and that is a great thing about America. And we should share that diversity, and that's one of the things that makes America great. They believe in personal and global responsibility and future focus on sustainability. So they think that the U.S. government is responsible for its actions in the world. So when we allow our businesses to produce mass amounts of pollution, then there should be consequences that follow for the U.S. government, and the government should get involved in stopping these businesses. So, and government should support movement towards non-renewable energies and environmentally safe, everything from crops to chemicals to anything we can do to make sure that we cut back on global warming and that the soil and land of the earth is healthier. So future focus on sustainability. Now sustainability is this idea that yes, you can have business without the government controlling it, like in socialism, but the government has to mix in with the economy in a mixed economy and make sure that what the companies are doing is sustainable, that we could keep producing these products using energy that does not produce that does not waste energy or produce pollution, and we create a balanced system. And that is a strong, strong belief of the Green Party. That's why they actually named Green Party after the green of the environment. Taxes are for public education. Again, they're very much like the Democrats. They want to put most of the money into the environment and education so that we can educate people to create a better environment, to protect the environment, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, universal health care. They believe in all the programs that exist today, but they actually want to go even further than most Democrats and actually make sure that we have universal health care. So the idea that just anybody can go to a doctor and we would all pay taxes to make sure everyone can go to a doctor without any questions or all these fees or having to have a job to have health insurance, regardless of your social class or the status of your sickness. If you're born with an illness, everybody would just be able to go to the doctor and the government would actually pay for it. That is universal health care. Okay, that's the Green Party, and Ralph Nader is seen by many as kind of a leader of that party. I believe he has a couple PhDs. He's a brilliant man. He became famous for fighting against the car companies and businesses that were abusing people in the sense of they were selling cars that would explode, like the Ford Pinto, that if it got hit too hard, it would blow up and it would kill people. And he was really he really brought a lot of information to consumers on to buy products from companies that could that shouldn't hurt them. So he got a lot of companies pretty upset, and they went after him. But he's kind of known as standing up for consumers. Okay, the next group we're going to talk about is